So, let us begin with the discussion for the conservation of mass. Okay. For the conservation of mass, yan, conservation of mass. So, meron ba tayong thermodynamic properties dito na dapat natin pag-usapan? So, recently, we have talked about the properties of matter, yung pressure and temperature, and syempre, yung quantifiable characteristic ng ating matter, which is hindi nababago. Unless, paano lang siya mababago? Unless, mangyari is, dagdagan mo ng quantity, ng dami yung inyong matter, magbabago talaga siya. Because, anything, uh, any matter has mass, okay? A definite mass. Okay? Ang nagbabago lang po sa matter, okay? Kapag nag-iba yung gravitational pull sa kanya. So, that is the weight. Mass is different from the weight. But, weight can be determined with the use of your mass. So, what does conservation of mass states? So this is the law of conservation of mass, okay? It states that mass is indestructible, hindi nasisira, okay? Hindi rin siya na, ano nga to sa Tagalog? Hindi nga nasisira, indestructible. Nababago if dadagdagan mo ng quantity of the same matter, meaning that mass is a commodity that can neither be created nor destroyed. It cannot be created. Ngayon, as a person, people, tao, when you occupy a space and you have mass, okay, yung mass na yun is contained na sa sarili mo. Magbabago lang yan, depende sa kung ano i-ingest mo. Ibig sabihin, it can never be created nor destroyed kasi it is contained within you na. Magbabago lang po ang weight, hindi ang mass. So the mass flow rate of the system is equal to the amount of mass flow per unit time. Okay? Dun papasok yung mass flow per unit time. So dapat nga dito, the law of conservation of mass is simply mass can never be created nor destroyed. Okay? Kung ano ipinasok mo sa system, what is contained in a system will always be the mass of the system. It does not change unless you will increment, you will add the same amount of that type of matter or the same quantity with that matter. Ibig sabihin, it can be multiplied. So, yung mass ba na yun natatanggal mo? Hindi. Indestructible nga eh. Now, when we are talking about the movement of mass, the movement of something that has mass, you are talking about mass flow rate. Mass flow rate. M dot na maliit. So, the mass flow rate, kung meron kang mass, okay, you divide it with the time, unit time. Okay? And that is denoted by M dot. Ayan M. Okay, huwag niyong pansinin to, okay? Para mas mapadali natin. Ngayon, paano nagiging volume? If you have mass, M, yung volume, anything that has mass, which occupies space, madidetermine mo yung volume only if that is liquid in form, gas in form, even yung solid. Pero ang solid kasi meron yan definite shape and definite size. So, kung ano siya, madidetermine mo yung kanyang volume. Ang gas naman, if it is gas and liquid, if it occupies a certain space and it takes up that space, ibig sabihin, it follows the volume of that space. Now, how you calculate the volume? Yung volume kasi going back to your plane and solid geometry, dapat alam mo kung paano natin kukunin ang volume of a certain shape or a certain solid. Now, we'll talk about this. So, anything which has volume that flows, okay, madidetermine mo yung volume flow rate. And that is denoted by, syempre, saan ba nagpo-flow yun? Inside a pipe, okay, inside a pipe of constant size, meron ka ditong area 1, meron kang area 2. Magfo-flow dyan yung iyong, magfo-flow yung inyong volume there. Okay? How will you get the volume? Volume flow ang tawag dito. Volume flow rate. Mag-flow yung volume mo, ito yung fluid mo. Area 1 and area 2. We say that area 1 is not equal to area 2. Tandaan nyo, anong sinabi ko dito? That mass can never be created nor destroyed. Ngayon, if you have mass 1 here, and you have mass 2 here, if it flows inside that pipe, parehas pa rin ba yung mass niya throughout the flow? Tandaan nyo, conservation of mass. It states that mass can never be created nor destroyed. Ibig sabihin, when it flows inside a conduit, or a path, or a pipe, the mass retains its value. So, mass 1 is equal to mass 2. Okay? Yun ang ibig ko sabihin doon. And, di ba ang sabi ko, through your physics, i-recall natin, what is density? Density is equal to mass over volume. Mass over volume. Ayun. Mass over volume. And, lagyan natin to. Flow rates. Where your volume flow rate simply is equal to the area of the flow multiplied to the velocity of the flow. And your mass is equal to, saan ba siya equal? Hindi natin alam. Di ba meron tayong given ditong density? Yung mass mo is simply equal to volume flow rate multiplied to the density of that substance. O, pwede natin tong expand. Diba ang volume flow rate is simply equal to area of the flow multiplied to the velocity of the flow. And that is A, V, P, or rho. That is mass flow rate. Now, di ba sabi ko, it passes through a surface, a pipe, a conduit, a path. When it passes there, mass is retained. Ibig sabihin, mass 1 is equal to mass 2. Then, in order for it to get yung ratio between them, o i-equate mo si area 1 of the flow, the velocity of the flow at 1, and then density of the fluid. Tapos, area of the flow at 2, velocity at 2, or inlet, outlet, or entry is equal to exit, density. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung fluid ba nagbago dyan? Kung tubig ang nag-pass through dun sa pipe mo, di ba tubig pa rin siya sa dulo? Di ba? Merong joke dyan, di ba? Ang joke ko dyan kasi, tignan mo, yung fluid mo ba, pag pinasok mo dun sa tubo, ang lalabas dyan, alak na? Di ba hindi? It will retain its characteristic. Siya pa rin, siya at siya lang yun. Tubig at tubig lang yun. Then we can say, yung density nila is pareho. Kasi parehong fluid yan. Then we can cancel out this one, yung density. Now, dun sa ating law of conservation of mass, we have an equation like this. Now, that is the ratio nung nung volume flow rates. Okay? Now, yung area dito, as you can see, di ba ang pipe, ano bang cross-sectional area nitong pipe? This is circular. Okay? If this is circular, what is the area of a circle? What is the area of the circle? That is pi over 4 d squared. O ngayon, pwede nating i-equate yan dito. Pwede nating i-substitute yan dito sa areas. Now, that is pi over 4 d1 squared multiplied to velocity 1 equal to pi over 4 d2 squared tapos velocity niyan 2. Okay. Di ba? Pwede pa rin natin makuha yan. Di ba ito is simply equal to volume flow rate? Oh, that is volume flow rate. Oh, kung volume flow rate, that is pi over 4 d squared multiplied to velocity. That is the volume flow rate. Otherwise, itong volume flow rate kasi para hindi ka nalilito, it can also be denoted as Q. Okay? Ngayon, bibigyan ko kayo ng mga shortcuts dyan. Okay, kunin nyo ito. Okay? Set this aside. Now, cancelable naman tong values nito. They are the same. So, D1 squared V1 equal to D2 squared V2. Meron kang other equation. Now, kapag hinahanap, sino? Si D. Sa equation na yan, given si volume flow rate and then velocity, madali lang hanapin. That is equal to D, square root nung 4 volume flow rate divided by tama ba? Pi multiplied to velocity. Ito na yun. Kapag naman hinahanap mo si velocity, simple, V is equal to 4Q divided by pi d squared. Meron ka ng dalawang formula dyan. If hinahanap si size of the pipe or size of the conduit ng cross-sectional area, and then kapag hinahanap naman si velocity of the flow. That is the equation of conservation of mass. Sinimplify ko na para sa inyo. Okay? Yan lang po yung mga dapat natin tandaan. 1, 2, 3. No other than that. Then, we can apply to different types of problem. I have here 3 problems for you to try. So, I will solve it right now. Okay? So, for problems number 1, 2, and 3, let us begin with problem number 1. Okay? Pero bago tayo mag-begin, ano nga ba ang value ni mass flow rate? Okay, mass flow rate, ang unit niyan is kilogram per second or pounds per second. Kapag volume flow rate naman, okay, kay Q or volume flow rate, that is gallons per minute or pwede pa CFM, cubic foot per minute, or yung mga unit, CFM, cubic foot per minute, gallons per minute, liters per second, LPS, liter per second, or cubic meter per second, QMEX. Cubic meter per second, QMEX. Yan yung mga units niya. Okay? Marami pang iba. Cubic feet per minute, gallons per minute, liters per second, cubic meters per second. Ayun yan. So, let us go with problem number 1. So, problem number 1, find the mass flow rate of a liquid which has a density of, meron ka na binigay na density dyan, 0.69 gram per cubic centimeter, flowing. So, meron ka na agad density. Check. Through a 5 cm inside diameter, binigyan ka ng D. At velocity. Anong hinahanap? The mass flow rate. For the mass flow rate, ano ba mass flow rate? That is density multiplied to volume flow rate. Where your volume flow rate is simply equal to the area of the flow multiplied to the velocity of the flow. Oh, very basic. So, mass flow rate there is equal to the density that is given multiplied to area that can be solved multiplied to velocity that is also given. Okay. Binigay sa'yo dyan. So, pwede pa natin to i-simplify. Si density multiplied to, ano yung area dapat dyan? Circular naman yan. Oh, pipe yan, pipe. So, pi over 4 d squared multiplied to velocity. Yung density mo na ibinigay dyan, 0.69 grams. 0.69 grams per cubic centimeter. You multiply it with pi over 4. Yung binigay sa'yo dyan na size of the pipe is 5 cm inside diameter. 5 cm squared. You multiply it with velocity na binigay niya. 8.3 meter per second. Kaya lang naka-meter eh. 8.3 meter per second. I-convert ko yung meter. How many cm per meter? So, there are 100 cm in every 1 meter. For cancellation of units, you have to show it. Cancel mo si cm cube, cm squared, yung meter, meter, cm. Ang lalabas dyan is gram per second. Okay? So, calculate natin dito. So, 0.69 times shift pi divide by 4 multiplied to 25 kasi 5 times 5 is 25 times 8.3 times 100. The answer is 11 11244.9382 grams in every second. Gawin natin kilogram. Divide na lang natin ng 1,000 grams in every 1 kilogram. Anong lalabas? Lalabas dyan is 11.2449. 11.2449 kilogram in every second. That is the mass flow of the system. Very basic pa yung number 1. Okay? How about problem number 2? Problem number 2. Two gaseous streams, okay? Two gaseous streams enter a mixing chamber. So this is a problem of mixing. A mixing chamber through 2 sections and leaves through 1 section. Entrance conditions are A1, 450 cm squared. V1, velocity is 150 meter per second. Okay, and then the volume flow rate at 1 is 0.625 meter cube per second per kilogram. Sir, hindi ko alam yan kung anong unit yan. So, di ba density is equal to mass over volume? Equal pa rin ito. Ang density is simply a reciprocal of your volume. Specific volume. Ano yung specific volume? The specific volume is dito. Maliit na V. Yan. Maliit na V. Specific volume. Anong unit niyan? Ang unit niyan is meter cube per kilogram. Yan ang specific volume natin. And the second condition is at 380 cm squared. Velocity at conduit 2 is 55 meter per second. The density at 1, density at 2 dapat to. Density at 2 is equal to 2 kg per cubic meter. At the exit conditions, ito yung na-measure mo. 245 meter per second at ang specific volume is 0.58 cubic meter per kilogram. Now, we determine the area at the exit section. Ngayon, mas maganda kasi dino-drawing natin siya. Okay? Ito daw yung mixing chamber mo. Okay? Papasok dito si 1. Papasok dito si 2. And then lalabas dito as 3. Now, ilan sa system mo ang pumasok? Ilan ang lumabas? You have mass 1 here. You have mass 2 here. Now, ang lalabas dito sa system mo, pag naghalo-halo yan, okay? Naghalo-halo sila. Kapag naghalo-halo sila, ang lalabas sa system mo is simply the total of the masses, MT. And that is equal to M1 plus M2. Very basic yan. Now, we recall from the conservation of mass that mass 1 is equal to area 1 velocity at 1, and then density at 1. Ito, iba to yung velocity, iba to. Ang velocity, ganito yan. Velocity, nakaganon, 1. Tapos density 1. Iba yung volume, specific volume sa velocity. This is velocity. And then, yung mass to mo, mass flow to mo, that is equal to A2, velocity 2, density 2. Kaso, yung area, velocity, ang binigay sa 1 is specific volume. Then, pwede pa tayong makabuo dito ng isa pang equation. So, M1 is simply equal to A1, velocity 1. Diba ang density, sinabi ko dito, that the density is the reciprocal ng specific volume or 1 over V. Then, pwede natin itong i-divide nung specific volume. Okay? Ganon din si M2. Is equal to A2, velocity 2, divided by specific volume at 2. Okay, masosolve na natin yan. Meron na naman tayo isa equation na ganap at nabuo. So, ano yung mga given dyan? Ang hinahanap natin is the exit section area. Okay, pwede natin gawin ganito. Si mass 1 plus mass 2 is equal to M3. Where M3 is simply equal to area 3, velocity 3. Anong binigay kay 3? Specific volume pa rin. Divided by specific volume. Specific volume 3. Ayan. So, M1 meron tayo, check. M2 meron tayo. Kaya lang ang binigay kay M2 is density 2. Kaya hindi na natin gagamitin tong equation na to kay M2. Pwede na natin ipasok dito. So, A1, V1 divided by specific volume at 1 plus area 2, velocity 2, density 2 equal to A3, velocity 3 divided by specific volume at 3. O, pag sama-samahin ko, okay? Si area 1, ang binigay dyan, binigay na sa'yo sa area 1, 450 cm squared. Velocity 1, binigay din ba? 150 meter per second. Specific volume at 1, binigay din ba? Yes. Ayan 0.625, 150, 450. 0.625. 0.625 meter cube per kilogram. Kaya lang ito, may conversion ka dito dapat na magaganap. Ano yung conversion dyan? Di ba 100, mali. There are 1 meter in every 100 cm. Naka-square dito, square mo rin. Plus, okay? Iniisa-isa ko na. Area 2 is area 2. That is 380 cm squared. Okay? 380 cm squared. I-multiply mo na kagad nito. Yung kanyang, ito, multiply mo na yan, yung conversion factor. So, 1 meter every 100 cm squared. Tapos, multiply mo ulit nung velocity na ibinigay sa kanya. That is 55 meter per second. 55 meter per second. Density ay binigay dyan. The density is 0.58. Hindi. 2 kilogram per meter cube. 2 kilogram per meter cube. Okay. Equal to yung area. Pagpalagay natin, area lang yan. Area 3. Kunin natin yung area T. Bago natin kunin yung size. Area of exit ba? Yun, area of the exit. Tapos, velocity na ibinigay niya sa exit, that is 245 meter per second. Divided by specific volume na ilan? 0.58. 0.58 cubic meter per kilogram. Okay, isa-isay natin isolve yan, yung mga value nila. Okay, dito. So, 450 times 150 multiplied to 1 divided by 100 square ko times, hindi na pala. Divide na natin. Divide by 0.625. The answer is 54 over 5. 10.8 na to. Anong unit? 10.8. Anong unit dyan? Cancel cm squared, cm squared, si meter cube, meter. Ang natira is kilogram per second. Plus, ito naman tayo. Itong buo. Ayan ha. Ito, 380 tsaka 55 and 2. 380, ano lang? 380 times 55 times 2 divided by 100 squared. Okay? The answer is 4.18 kilogram per second. Equal to A3. So, simplify na natin itong dalawa. Ang matitira dito is kilogram. Okay? Kilogram meter squared per meter squared. Yan. So, 245 divide by 0.58. The answer is, yan, wag natin i-round off. Okay? 422.4137 4137931. Anong unit? Cancel yung isa dito. Kilogram per meter squared second. Okay, i-multiply natin both sides by seconds per kilogram para makancel natin lahat ng kilogram per second. Cancel to, cancel to, cancel to, cancel to, cancel to. Okay, ang natira ito. So, to find A3, very basic na yan. A3 now will be equal to meter squared yan, di ba? 422, hindi, mali. 10.8 plus 4.18 divide by 422.413791. Ang unit niyan, yung reciprocal na nito, meter squared. Yung kailangan natin dito, cm squared. I-multiply mo na lang ng 100 squared cm squared divide by 1 meter squared. Cancel all the same units. M squared. Ang lalabas cm squared. The answer will become, store ko tong value kay A para hindi ko napipindutin ulit. Okay. And then, 10.8 plus 4.18 divide by 422, recall natin si A, times 100 squared. Now, the exit area will be, what will be the exit area?
Sir, di naka-squared.
Oh, i-ano ko pa, times ko ulit ng 100. The exit area is 354. Ayan. A3 is 354. 354.63 cm squared. Okay? So, that is for problem number 2. Let us take a pause muna. Okay, so for problem number 3. Ayan, okay na. For problem number 3, the last problem. Okay? So, a 10 feet diameter by 15 feet height vertical tank. Ibig sabihin to, this is a cylinder. Cylindrical tank is receiving water. Okay? Ano ba ang density ng water? Diba itinuro ko sa inyo? The density of water is 62.4 pound per cubic foot. Diba? At the rate of, ito naman binigay niya iba. At the rate of 300 GPM, 300 gallon per minute yung kanyang Q, volume flow rate, and is discharging through a 6-inch diameter, 6-inch inside diameter, ID, kapag OD outside diameter, with a constant speed of 5 foot per second. You are given an area at exit 6 inch, and then meron kang speed na 5 feet every second. At a given instant, the tank is half full. Binigay sa inyo na. At a given instant daw, kalahati na lang yung laman niya. And find the water level and the mass change in the tank after 15 minutes. So, madali lang yan, okay? I-drawing natin. Mas madali kasi dinodrawing yan. Now, meron ka ditong cylindrical tank. Okay? Yung cylindrical tank mo. Pasensya na sa drawing natin dahil hindi ako architect. Kaya ang hirap mag-drawing dito sa aking tablet. Masyadong madulas. Ayun yung cylindrical tank natin. Meron daw siyang height na 15 feet. 15 feet. And then, meron kang diameter na 10 feet. Ngayon, meron daw dyan flow rate. Okay? Meron kang flow rate. Q. Ano yung Q mo dyan? That is 300 GPM. At in an instant, kalahati na lang daw yung laman ng tubig niya. Half full. Ibig sabihin, this is half of the height. Hindi naman nagbabago itong diameter niya. It does not change. And then, after 15 minutes, okay, meron ka daw drain dito. May drain ka dito. Ang size niya is 6 inch diameter. Ayan. Ang velocity niya dito is 5 foot per second. Ayan. So, anong hinahanap mo dyan? Hanapin mo muna yung area ng pinanggagalingan ni Juan. Asan doon? Yung inside. Dito kasi, dito nanggagaling yung flow mo sa taas. Okay? Yan. Dito yung flow mo, 300 GPM. Ano yung area mo dyan? Area at the inlet. That is pi over 4 d squared. Eh, yung D1 natin dito, that is 10 feet. That is pi over 4 times 10 feet squared. Ano yung kanyang area? So, that is shift pi over 4 times 100 na to. Kasi 10 squared is 100. 25 pi. Huwag muna natin i-simplify ha. 25 pi feet squared. Yung area at inlet. Now, yung area at 2, solve natin. Pi over 4 sa outlet. Okay? 6 inch. Okay, gawin na natin siyang feet. So, 6 by 1 foot over 12 inches. Okay, squared. That is, okay, shift pi over 4 times 6 divided by 12 is 0.5 or 1 half. 0.5 squared. That is pi over 16. Wag muna kayong mag-round off kapag unang solving. Okay? Part by part lang. Wag muna natin silang i-round off. Wag muna i-simplify. Now, ang binigay sa'yo dito is yung Q. Diba? Q is volume flow rate. Yan o. 300 GPM. Diba ang Q is equal to area times velocity? Malalaman natin yung velocity doon sa ating inlet. Pero dito, 'di ba, ang mass flow rate natin, hanapin natin. The mass flow rate at inlet is equal to ganyan, 'di ba? Times AV times density ng tubig. Binigay sa yung density ng tubig, hindi nagbabago 'yan. So we can find yung M1. M1 is equal to area 1, velocity 1, density at 1. Yung area at the inlet, that is 25 pi feet squared. Ayan. Tapos, meron ang velocity that is given. Nasaan yung velocity mo dyan? At 1. May binigay ba siya? 1 Wala po siyang given dyan na velocity kaya hindi mo magagamit itong area mo. Pero pwede nating isolve kasi yan, yung velocity. Pero ako, since, di ba, given dito that area and velocity is Q, given naman yung GPM, pwede natin makuha yung mass flow rate at 1. That is 300 gallons per minute multiplied to density. Ano yung density mo dyan? 62.11. 62.11 pound per feet cube. Meron tayong hindrance dito. Wala tayong conversion factor. 62.1 ba yan o 62.11? 62.1 yan, hindi yan 62.11. 62.1. 62.1. Yan. Kailangan natin ng conversion factor for gallons. Ano po ba yung conversion factor for gallon? You have a conversion of, so 1 cubic foot, 1 feet cube is equal to 7.481 gallons. Gamitin natin tong conversion unit na to. So, you have 1 cubic foot in every 7.481 gallons. Cancel natin, okay? Per minute ang kukunin natin. Pound per minute. Cancel natin yung same unit. Gallon, feet cube, ang natira is pound per minute. We can solve for the value. So, 300 times 62.1 divided by 7.481. The answer is 2,490. That is 2,490.31. Ganyan mo na lang, 31 or 3088. Apat na decimal, 3088. Kuwari, nag-quiz tayo. Apat na decimal places mo siya ira-round off. Ang unit niya is pound in every minute. How about M2? Yung M2 is area 2, velocity 2, density 2. Yung density 2 is the same with 1. Yung area 2 is pi over 4. Meron ka naman velocity yung bigay dyan. Ito yung velocity. Yung area 2, given na dahil na-solve na natin. So, you have pi over 16 feet squared multiplied to velocity which is 5 foot per second. I-multiply mo nung density that is 62.1 pound per feet cube. Ang lalabas dyan na unit, cancel natin yung same. Feet and then feet squared tapos yung feet cube. Ang lalabas is pound per second. I-convert natin yan sa pound per minute. Ilang seconds in every minute? You have 60 seconds in every 1 minute. Cancel ulit yung seconds. And seconds. We can now solve for the value. So, pi over 16 times 5 times 62.1 times 60. So, ang answer natin dyan is 3657. 3,657.9919 pound in every minute. Anong hinahanap natin? The water level and the mass change in the tank. So, paano natin malalaman yung mass change? Okay? The mass change, kailangan mong hanapin to. The mass change there, mass flow rate change is equal to M2 minus M1. O, yan na. Masolve na natin. 3657.9919 pound in every minute minus 2490.3088 pound in every minute. The mass change will be 1167. 1167.68 6831 pound in every minute. Nasolve na natin yung unang condition. The mass change. How about yung mass change lang to ha, hindi pa sinabi yung mass change in 15 minutes. So the mass change in 15 minutes will be yung mass change between 1 to 2 multiplied to the time that is given. So that is equal to 1167.6832 pound in every minute multiplied to 15 minutes. Para ma-cancel natin. Oh. Multiply mo ng 15. Ano yung nabawas na mas sa kanya? Times 15. The answer will be 17,515.2472 pounds. Ayun yung nabawas sa kanya. Okay? How about the volume? Yung volume naman. Ano yung volume niya? Volume, ayun, water level. Hindi after 15 minutes yung half full. What is the half full volume? Okay. In total volume niya, if gagamitin mo yung full siya, volume full, that is cylindrical, pi over 4. Diba, base times height, area of the base times height. Pi over 4, d squared multiplied to the height. Ngayon, yung kanyang area of cross-section, that is 10 feet, squared natin, i-multiply natin kay 15 feet. What will be the volume if full? That is shift pi over 4 times 100 times 15. The answer will be 375 pi cubic feet. That is the volume if full. How about yung volume niya? Okay. Yung volume niya nung after sa water level. Now, ang volume niya will be, may nahanap na ba tayong Q2 dito? Hanapin muna natin yung volume flow rate at 2. Hanapin muna natin na yung volume flow rate at 2. That is area 2 V2. Okay? Area 2 is, nakuha ko na, pi over 16 feet squared multiplied to 5 feet per second. Cubic feet per minute ang i-measure natin dito. Naka-second siya, di ba? I-multiply mo ng 60 seconds in every 1 minute. Okay. So that is shift pi divided by 16 times 5 times 60. The answer will be 58.9049 pound per, hindi, feet cube per minute. Yan na yung volume flow rate niya at the outlet. Yan. Paano natin mahahanap yung height change niya? Very basic yun. Now, for the height change, that is equal to delta V divided by A1. Yung volume to, hindi volume flow rate. The change in the volume. How will we have the change in the volume? Simple. Diba, the change in the volume there is equal to the total volume or the volume at full. Tama ba yun? Mali. Okay. Ayun, the mass flow rate pala. Volume flow, okay? That is the mass flow, change in mass, divided by density. Saan po nagmula ito? Ito equation na to. Diba density is equal to mass over volume? O ngayon, ang kinuha natin dito, mass change. Mass change divided by density will be equal to density. Hindi naman nagbabagong density. 'Di ba? Constant ang density. Okay? Ito yan, oh. Density is equal to the change in mass divided by the change in the volume. Ang hinahanap natin, the change in the volume para mahanap natin yung change ng height. Okay? The change in volume there will be yung total mass na naging change niya after 1 and 2 and 15 minutes. So that is 17,515.2472. Ilan yan? Pounds. Okay, pounds. Divide natin ng density, that is 62.1 pound per cubic foot. Ang mangyayari dito, cubic foot. So, 17,515.2472 divided by 62.1. The answer will be 282. Yan yung naging change in volume. 282 point after 15 minutes. 0,491 cubic foot. Okay? Now, hahanapin na natin yung change in height. The change in height there will be yung change ng volume divided by the area of the base. Diba? Base times height ang volume. Tandaan nyo, this is base times height. Yan, no? Oh. Ngayon, the change in the volume, that is 282.0491 cubic foot. Divide natin yung area on 1. Area on 1 is 25 pi foot squared. So, feet, may natirang isa. 282 divided by 25 shift pi. The answer will be, the change in height after 15 minutes will be 3.5912 feet. Yan yung naging change in our height. So, I think that will suffice for the conservation of mass. Ganun lang po kadali ang pag-solve nun. Yung pinakadulo talaga ang pinakamahirap. One of the most challenging part nung pag-solve ng conservation of mass is yung ganitong uri ng problem. Okay? Kung may natutunan, hit like. And then, kung kailangan ng notes, will come out after. You have to update me dun sa ating GC. I will upload this later on. Okay?